Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Kim and welcome back to Uncommonkim. My voice is going. So, welcome to day 3 and 4 of Summerween, and I've got a plan for these 2 days. I have created a list of some of the most popular horror books from TikTok. Now, I did this last year but with thrillers, and how I did it is I watched a freaking ton of TikTok videos and made a list, and then every time a book came up it tallied, and the first 3 to get to a tally of 10 is my top 3 books. So we're going to be reading 3 books in 2 days. Wish me luck. And I'm very excited to read all 3 of these, but we're going to go from number 3 to number 1. So in 3rd place we had September House by Carissa Orlando. I'm very excited to read this one. I've only heard good things. I heard a lot of hype and a lot of love for this book. I'm very excited to find out what all the hype and the love is about. I've actually only heard good things. I haven't heard much negative, so I'm very excited. But let's read the synopsis. When Margaret and her husband Hal bought the large Victorian house on Hawthorne Street for sale at a surprisingly reasonable price, they couldn't believe they finally found a home of their own. Then they discovered the hauntings. Every September the walls drip blood, the ghosts of former inhabitants appear, and all of them are terrified of something that lurks in the basement. Most people would flee. Margaret is not most people. After 4 years, Margaret has learned how to live with the house. It's her house after all. But Hal can't take it anymore and he leaves abruptly. Now he's not returning calls, and their daughter Catherine, who knows nothing about the apparitions, arrives, intent on looking for her missing father. To make things worse, September has just begun, and with each attempt by Margaret and Catherine to find Hal, the hauntings grow more harrowing because there are some secrets the house needs to keep. I'm excited. I love a haunted house book. I find haunted house books scare me the most, and just as a little hint, 2 of these are haunted house books. But I'm very excited. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna read quite a bit of September House because it is the evening of day 3 as I have been at work today. So I need to get as much of this done as possible. But I think I can. I have got the audiobook, so I'm gonna like immerse myself with it, with the audiobook and physically reading, and have a grand old spooky time. But again, as always, I'll come back and update you every 100 pages or so on my thoughts, my feelings, and whether I've shat myself yet. Hello. I am 108 pages in, and I am on chapter 9. I am quite enjoying this. I'm finding it very slow paced. But I'm enjoying the humorous side to it, which I didn't expect. And I'm enjoying the weird relationship this woman has with the ghosts. And I'm liking the kind of, you know, it's September, the walls are bleeding, the ghosts are alive, the ghosts are pissed. And I'm very intrigued to know where her husband is, because she honestly seems like she couldn't give a fuck. And her daughter's having a bit of a mental breakdown, but otherwise I'm really enjoying it. I'm finding it addictive to read, but then at the same time still finding it quite slow, and very, the writing is like addictive, but very like, word dumpy isn't the right, like she's very descriptive in her writing. She likes to kind of describe everything, and I just think like it's a tiny bit unnecessary, but otherwise I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying my time. I'm hoping to get another 100 pages in tonight. It's currently like 9:30. So another 100 pages would be handy. But we'll see. But I'm gonna go and continue reading, but I'm gonna go and read in my chair downstairs, and then I'll come and update you 200 pages in. Hello. It's now like 11:15, and I made it to the 200 page mark. Very proud of my progress. So I'm about 60% roughly of the way through September House, and I've made some notes. So I'm still finding the whole thing quite humorous. in a way, and I think that makes it really easy to read. And when I say humorous, I don't mean that it's funny. Well, no, I do. There's some things that Margaret says that's actually quite funny. And like with the ghosts and things, and especially Frederica. she's interesting. But it's more like how ridiculous it is. I think that makes it quite funny. We've now had the backstory of the ghosts in the house and who's in the basement. So I now understand that, so that's quite cool, quite enjoying that. But the daughter, Catherine, is really getting on my fucking nerves. The narrator for her voice is so annoying. And it is just one narrator, I'm pretty sure, but the voice she does for her is really annoying, and I find her really fucking frustrating as a character. Because everything she does, I'm like, just fuck off. But then, like, some parts of it that we've now discovered, like, about Hal and Margaret, I'm like, fair enough for her daughter kind of sticking up for her, but at the same time, fuck off. Like, if... Right. I'm going to hold the book, and when I'm holding the book I'm talking spoilers because I have things to say. Hal is a fucking asshole, so why is his daughter so desperate to fucking find him? It's something that really doesn't make sense to me. But also Margaret could not give less of a shit about trying to find her husband, like talking to the police, searching for pubs and hotels to try and find him. She couldn't give a fuck. She's more worried about her daughter seeing the ghosts. My prediction is, so they said that Hal left, got in a taxi, and then we found out he's been to this hotel. I believe, because he never checked out of the hotel, I believe he came back to the house. Okay? And because he is an abusive alcoholic, he upset Margaret in some form of way that he's now in the basement, because everyone, people at the hotel, the ghosts, keep saying he's in the basement, and I'm like, yeah, Hal must be in the basement. So I believe that he is in the basement, and I think the reason that she's like, she doesn't care is because she knows he's down there. And that's why she keeps it all locked up. Obviously we know who the Vale guy is, Master Vale, we know who that is now. So I believe Master Vale has got him down there. Yeah, and I just believe that Hal maybe went a step too far, and maybe Margaret has some sort of power to do with the ghosts, and that maybe the ghosts forced him down there or something. And maybe the only way I can see this wrapping up is maybe Hal's body is in the basement and she gets arrested. Because the way that she acts as well when the ghosts are there around her daughter must make it out to seem like she's got a bit of dementia, like, or something along those lines. Because she goes, oh, I'll make tea, and she stands there in front of the kettle, but Frederica's moved the tea bags, because when it's September, Frederica likes to move things and like stack things. Like she stacked the dining table with the chairs, and moved Margaret's dresser downstairs, and then stacked the drawers and things like that. She's absolutely off her nut. I love her. But yeah, she goes to like make a cup of tea and the tea bags are gone, and she's like, oh, I don't want my daughter to realise that I don't know where the tea bags are. But her daughter must honestly think she's like doolally, and that maybe she's got like dementia or problems and things. But yeah, I'm very interested to see how this is going to wrap up. I'm finding it very easy to read, very easy to listen to. I'm having a good time. This, honestly, depending on how this ends, this could be a 5-star. And that's saying something, because this is book 3. And these next 2 books are meant to be... were more recommended on TikTok than this one, so I'm very excited. But yes, I'm going to bed. And I'm going to finish this in the morning, and I'm going to come back and then let you know my final thoughts on September House.
Halloween.
I'm scared to death of one thing.
Excellent, excellent. Creeping.
Hello. So, I have finished the September House, and I'm going to give it 4 stars. I actually really enjoyed this, but the reason I'm giving it 4 and not 5 is because a few of my predictions I was correct, and I just felt like the last 50 pages was so stretched out. Like, I was literally like, cool, it's finished, and then it just kept going. And it kept going, and I was like, nah, come on, just fucking finish the book. But yeah, a few of my predictions were right, which was, you know, a bit disappointing in the sense of it's quite predictable, but I really enjoyed this. Had a great time, loved the supernatural kind of horror-y aspect to it. Very gory at the end, but I quite liked that. It was a good time, good book. Can understand why people love it and enjoy it as much as is said, basically. Yeah, I thought it was a good read. I would recommend. But now we're going on to book 2. So this is the second most popular book I found on TikTok in regards to horror. And it is another haunted house kind of book, and it is We Used to Live Here by Marcus Klewer, I think is how you say it. This is another one that I've heard a lot about, and I'm very excited to read, and it's another one that I know is quite popular. So, synopsis. So, young couple Charlie and Eve can't believe the killer deal they got on an old house in a beautiful yet remote neighbourhood nestled deep in the mountains. One day, a man knocks on the door. He claims to have lived in the house years before and asks if he can show his family around. People pleaser to a fault, Eve lets them in. As soon as they enter, strange things start happening, and Eve wants nothing more than for them to leave and never come back. But they can't, or won't, take the hint that they are no longer welcome. Then Charlie suddenly vanishes, and Eve begins to lose her grip on reality. She's convinced there's something terribly wrong with the house and its past inhabitants. Or is it all in her head? I'm excited. I think it's going to have very similar vibes to September House, because one thing I did think that I found with September House is you really didn't know who, what and where to believe half the time. You were just kind of like, cool, and I feel like this is going to be very similar, so I'm excited. I am going around a friend's tonight for a takeaway, but then I'm hoping it's not going to be too late and then I can come home and I can read some more, so I will update you about the 100-page mark. Hello. I'm coming to update you on We Used to Live Here. I was meant to update you at the 100-page mark, but instead I'm updating you at the 200 page mark, because I forgot. I forgot. I am enjoying this, but good fucking Christ, I'm on edge. So far, this is the creepiest, freakiest book I've read. I feel very on edge when I read it because I don't really know what's gonna come. If you've read this, the scene in the attic, my Christ, literally like was fucking scared. This is definitely the only book that's fully scared me so far, but I'm really enjoying it. I enjoy the characters. The neighbours are weird as fuck, and a bit creepy. The people that kind of just appeared, I was like, I used to live here. Something's not right, especially about their kids. Their kids creep me the fuck out. I don't like creepy kids. Yeah, it's unsettling is a good word to use. Unsettling, but I'm really enjoying the writing. I'm also listening to the audiobook, which is really good, because there's every chapter, just in between each chapter we have like this, I'd call it like a document, where we have it's like emails or like footage, like descriptions of footage, or I don't know, but I think I know what it is, because we've kind of slightly been introduced to that, but it's very interesting because it's completely like separate from the main plot, but it's so interesting to read. I think it's mainly like about the house, as the house is known as the old house kind of thing, but yeah, I'm really enjoying this. I've got 100 pages left, so I'm going to quickly smash this out and then we'll get on to book 3, and I need to finish it today, so yeah, we're going to do that. But yeah, I'm having a great time. But I'll come back and I'll update you when I have finished. So, I'm finished, and I'm so confused. I'm so confused. But also not confused, and just, it's more of a what the fuck. Huh. Okay, I finished. The last 100 pages of the book was an honest what the fuck. The weirdest and most confusing shit to get your head around I've ever read, but so well done. I did not see any of it coming, and you don't really get full answers either. It just kind of leaves it with you asking more questions. I don't know what to rate this. I don't know what to rate this. I really don't. There's a small part of me that just wants to go 5 stars, and then there's another part of me that's like, nah, it's probably like a 4.5. Is this a 5 star? I think it is. I've never read a book that's left me so stuck, so confused, so wow. Yeah, no, I suppose this is a 5 star. I've never felt this after reading a book before. Jesus. I can see why it's so hyped. I can see why so many people have enjoyed this. I'm gonna go on Goodreads a sec. Let's see who's enjoyed this, who's not. So Kayla from Books and Lila gave it 5 stars. Katie Colson gave it 3. Meg with Books gave it a 4. Cassidy gave it 4. Steph gave it a 4.5. Gabby gave it a 4.5. Jan gave it a 5. So many people have given it 4 5-stars. I think this is a 5-star because I've never had a book left me so mind fucked. Wow. There's nothing I can say because spoilers. Just read it. Just read it because wow. Oh my Christ. I'm just trying to like take it all in. Wow. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, all I'm going to say is if you haven't read it, read it. Okay, on to book number 3. Ooh. Okay. Hello. Still incredibly mind-fucked by We Used to Live Here, but the third and final book for this TikTok recommended vlog is Incidents Around the House by Josh Malaman. This was the most recommended book I found on TikTok. It was recommended, I think, out of all the videos I watched, in the end it was probably about 15 or 16 videos that recommended this. I'm slightly nervous, but actually flipping through it looks like it's going to be relatively fast paced, because I don't know if you can see that, but it's very like blocked out, so we shall see. So Other Mummy has a question and it's time for Bella to answer. To 8-year-old Bella, her family is her world. There's Mummy, Daddy, Grandma Ruth, but there is also Other Mummy, a malevolent entity who asks her every day, "Can I go inside your heart?" When horrifying incidents around the house signal that Other Mummy is growing tired of asking Bella the same question over and over, Bella begins to understand that unless she says yes, her family will soon pay. Other Mummy is getting restless, stronger, bolder. Only the bonds of family can keep Bella safe. But the incidents are revealing cracks in her parents' marriage. The safety Bella relies on is about to unravel. The Other Mummy needs an answer. Okay, let's go. I'm excited. I'm slightly nervous. This is my first Josh Malaman, so I don't really know what to expect. But I've been told it's freaky as fuck. But nothing can be as confusing as We Used to Live Here, so we're good on that sense. So let's go. fans, it's hot in the UK, so deal with it. But I have reached the 100-page mark of incidents around the house, and it's creepy. It's creepy. So we literally have the perspective of an 8-year-old girl, and like she lives with her mum and her dad, and then there's this creepy entity called Other Mummy who just like appears sometimes and asks Bella if she can go in her heart, and it's fucking creepy. I'm not like massively scared, but it's just a bit weird, it's a bit creepy, but I'm not like scared. But I am enjoying it. It's because I'm listening to the audiobook at the same time. It's really weird because it's literally in the perspective of an 8-year-old girl. And the narrator sounds like an 8-year-old girl, and that's a bit weird. I've never had that before, but yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm intrigued to see what's gonna happen. Like, is she going to let the other mummy in? It's very interesting seeing like her parents having marriage problems through the perspective of an 8-year-old, where she doesn't really understand what she's seeing, but as the reader we know what she's seeing, but obviously where she's so young she hasn't got a clue. That's interesting. I'm finding it really easy to read, kind of flying through it quite quick as well, having a good vibe, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, enjoying it. I'm going to probably come back and update you in another 100 pages, I think, and we'll kind of go from there. But yeah, it is interesting. Hello, it's me. I'm so warm. I don't know how hot it is. Hold on. It's 29 degrees. To most people that's probably not warm, but in a country where houses are made to keep the heat in, it's warm. Not a fan. Incidents around the house. I'm up to page 200. I've got 150 pages left, and I'm really enjoying this. I'm enjoying it being from her perspective, the 8-year-old's perspective. Not for spoilers, but now more characters know what's going on. I'm enjoying that a lot more. Drama is kicking off between her parents. I love her dad. Her dad as a character is, I really like him as a character. I don't like her mum. Her mum's just a bit of a silly bitch, to be perfectly honest. The grandmother's come into it. She's a cool character. I like her. And I can very easily picture everything that's going on in my head, which is great, because I find sometimes with some horror books stuff happens so fast and so weird you can't really picture it, but I can literally picture everything in here perfectly. It's very fast paced, really easy to read, great writing. I can't fault it. It could be a 5-star. Depending on how this ends, this could be another 5-star. But I understand the hype so much, because it's so different to your typical book. I think obviously because it's written in the perspective of an 8-year-old girl, that helps, but I think just the way it's laid out, the way it's written, the way it's portrayed, it's just different, and it's a good different. And I'm very interested to read more by Josh Malerman, because obviously this is the first book I've read by him, but it's been in this perspective of an 8-year-old. So I'll be very interested to read his books that aren't in the perspective of an 8-year-old. But I'm gonna go and I'm gonna finish this off now, and then I will come back and wrap this vlog up because I need to edit it. So this has been Summerween day 3, 4, 5? 3, 4, 5? 3, 4, 5? 3, 4, 5. Yes. 3, 4, 5. So I need to edit this and get this up for tomorrow. And start another vlog. I don't know what I'm going to read next. I'm a little bit like, woo, we're on a fucking roll, kids. So yeah. I'm going to go and I'll come back and update you when I finish. Hello. So, I'm here to wrap this up and to end this vlog so I can edit it and I can start a new one. So, instance around the house, I've given it 4 stars. It could have been a 5, but I wasn't a massive fan of the ending. Like, I knew it was coming, but I wasn't a massive fan of the ending. And other than that, that's actually the only reason it didn't get 5 stars for me, is I just wasn't a massive fan of the ending. But I did really enjoy this still. I enjoyed it coming from the perspective of the little girl. I enjoyed the twist we had towards the end where the family, the parents told some home truths. That was interesting, didn't see that coming. I had a great time, read it in a day. And yeah, very interested to pick up more by Josh Malerman, for sure. If you have any recommendations of his books, let me know what I should kind of go for, because I don't really know. But yeah, I had a good time nonetheless. But reflecting back on the TikTok popular horrors, yeah, use TikTok horrors for recommendations because they know what they're talking about. Obviously I had a 5-star with We Used to Live Here, and then had 2 4 stars with Instance Around the House and September House. So definitely worth listening to them. I did the same video last year but with thrillers, and wouldn't recommend for thrillers, but definitely would recommend for horrors. It was a vibe. I was very, very impressed, and I read them all pretty quick, so go me. But that's the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a house emoji in the description to let me know at the end of the video. Like and subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you all soon for another video. Bye.